So welcome to my class in continuation with Unit 2, Organization of Data. In the previous class, we talked about statistical series, how the raw data is put into statistical series for analysis for easy understanding. And in that, we talked about that statistical series are divided into two parts. One is according to the characteristics, and we also in this class today I'm going to talk about statistical series according to construction. Okay, so just for a little recap. So in the last class we talked about characteristics such as time, place, and condition. So in this we are going to talk about on the basis of construction, that is individual, discrete, and continuous series. So let me just tell you what is on the basis of construction. What is individual series? Now, what are individual series? It is when the data which is collected, when we list them singly in some serial order, ascending order, descending order, whatever. So that becomes what is known as an individual series. And in this, what the data which is there can repeat itself. So we're going to list them singly. If some students get out of a class of 20, if there are about 5 students who got 20 marks, I'm going to list each one singly. That is known as individual series. So what is discrete series now? Discrete is whoever, like for example 25 people have got, I'll go around making a tally. I'll put a tally bar, and that's how I will know how many have done, and then finally I'm going to calculate that and write the number, which is known as frequency. And in the class interval series in the discrete series, it's always a whole number, and in the continuous series it is what is known as fraction. It's a group data. It's grouped within certain classes, upper limit and lower limit. We will be doing all of that later. So just have a look at this as I've just explained that what it is. So individual series are those in which the items are listed singly. They are listed, each one is written separately. So every item has one value. They are not grouped into classes or groups. For example, marks obtained by each student in a class of 20 students will be put singly. Everyone single in a single value. So there is no frequency of the item. So you can arrange this either in the serial order, or you can arrange it in the ascending order or the descending order. Anyhow, whatever way pleases you. Okay, now we come to what is known as discrete series. So what is discrete? Now this is here in which exact measurement of item is given. So it is formed from items which are exactly measurable. That means it's formed from the items that you can measure absolutely. Alright, so that is there. Now for example, as I said, if 20 marks has come 5 times, you will exactly know 20 so many times. So exactly you know the measurement. So every unit of data is separate and complete, but of course you know how many times it has come up. So definite breaks exist between different items. Okay, so of course I'm going to help you understand this with the help of a example. It will make you clear. Now frequency, sometimes it's known as the discrete series, is also known as frequency array, and we use tally bars to find out for every value which has repeated itself. We can put a tally bar, tallying it around to get the score same. You count and find out how much is there, and after that it becomes easy. Okay, so first of all, a table is prepared with 3 columns where you have variable, tally bars, and frequency, and that's how you go about it. Okay, so then we come to what is known as continuous series. Now what is continuous series? Here the data are presented according to class intervals. So a frequency distribution is a comprehensive way to classify raw data of a variable among different classes along with the corresponding class frequencies. Okay, so the difference between frequency discrete series and class interval series is that in case of the discrete series, the variable is uh, a given. It is a full number, whereas in the later, that means continuous series, it can be shown as fractions too. Okay, so here in the this is known as frequency distribution when you are talking about continuous series. So here we find that the items are not measured exactly, and they are rather placed within the range or limits. So we will be doing class limits, class interval, mid values and all of that later, but right now we are going to just to reiterate what we've done. I want you to take this up, so we're going to understand what it is. Now let's just take, suppose there are 20 students. As again, let's take an example, and we're going to convert this particular data into individual series, discrete series and continuous series for you to understand. So let's take the data. There are 20 students of a class. 11 has secured the following marks. Say 11, 12, 14, 11, 16, 11, 17, 16, 17, 14, 17, 18, 20, 14, 20, 17, 20, 17, 14, 20. So you write it down and you copy it down from the question as it is. Okay. But then what we do in individual series, what we do is we make sure that we are listing it according in a I have listed it in an ascending order, if you see it, right? So what I did was, just to make sense out of the whole data which I was reading, as I was reading, I was doing it, I put it down as in ascending order. So that is individual series. And you must have noticed that if 11 has occurred so many times, I've written it as so many times. If 12 has occurred only once, only once. If 14 has occurred more than 2 times, I've written that way. So you will notice that. So it is listed singly. Each value is listed singly, as you see in this particular illustration that I'm showing you. Now what happens is, so we come to know this is how we make the individual series. Now let's come to the discrete series. Okay. Now in the discrete series, what I started doing was I started putting the tally bars, and based on the tally bars, then I was writing the frequencies. F, as I said, we make 3 columns. One is that we see how many, which particular number is there. I needn't write, if 13 is not there, I needn't write 13. If say 15 is not there, I needn't write 15. So whichever number is there, I'm going to write those numbers as they are there, and then I'm going to put a tally bar. So what is a tally bar? It is 4 and a cross. That is a tally bar, right? So this is a method of marking and counting that we find. We put 4 and a cross. So we make it into a group of 5. So with tally bars, I've decided that 11, there were 3 tally bars for that. So the frequency is 3. 3 people, 3 students have secured 11 marks. 12 marks was secured only by 1. Okay. And then 14 by 4 students, 16 by 2 students, 17 marks were secured by 5 students, 18 just 1 got, and 20 there were actually 4 students. So, and make sure that you write the total number if it is given. Now having done this, we come to what is known as a class interval series. So what I've done is I've just divided into 2 parts, like 5 to 10, 10 to 15 and 15 to 20. So what did I do? 10 to 15 and 15 to 20 rather. So because I've separated into all of those, and then I find that 10 to 15 there were about, how many were there? 8. and the rest 12 came into the other range. They came into 15 to 20. So 12 of those, and then if you add them up, it becomes 20 marks. So this is what is known as the continuous series. And in the next class, we're going to explain especially the continuous series in a greater detail. Thank you.